right, well, let's move on. You can't talk about the Arizona Cardinals without looking at their dynamic duo of Kyler Murray and DeAndre Hopkins. Now, those two connected for 6 touchdowns last season on the DK Sportsbook. You can get Kyler to go over 4,150 and a half passing yards. Hopkins catch over 7.5 touchdowns for plus 225 odds. AJ, do you think they'll both improve enough on last year's numbers to hit this bet?
This is the one I like out of everything we've talked about here. You know, with the previous bet, I talked about the two wide receivers kind of working against each other and taking a share here. For this one, I think it's a clear all or nothing situation. I think either they both hit their mark or neither hits their mark. You look at Murray's numbers in terms of yards, averaged 248.2 per game last year. Add in that extra game, and he's already over that 41.50 and a half mark. On the other side, in terms of the receptions, I think Hopkins can easily get over that. He's been right at the 7-8 threshold the last 2 years. Obviously, he had those previous seasons over 10. I love this bet, especially at that 250 value.
Geoff, what do you think? Do you love this bet?
I don't love it, but look, when we're talking about it in comparison to the other bets we've spoken about, yeah, this one makes a lot more sense. I don't really like the DeAndre Hopkins part of it. The Cardinals definitely like a rushing team in the red zone. You've got a rushing QB. I'm just not convinced that they're going to throw a ton back there. I do think Kyler Murray will hit his over on this prop, assuming he stays relatively healthy. I think the Cardinals will dial back his rushes just a little bit. And again, I think they'll use him in the red zone for rushing, but I think just a few more pass attempts with the extra game. Kyler was basically on pace to hit the over on this one last season, even when he was banged up near the end of the year. So I think the Kyler over passing prop is the one I would just go out and bet personally of these two.
All right, Reid, how do you feel about it?
Yeah, I'm with AJ here. I'm pretty bullish on Arizona, especially in this division, even though it's run first. Kyler was on pace to be a guy who was going to go over 4,000 yards passing and over 1,000 yards rushing. So even if they dial it back a little bit, right, with his rushing to preserve Kyler Murray, I still think that this is pretty nice in terms of what they have to do. And you take a look at what his passer rating too was on deep passes and play action, 154.9, 436 passing yards on deep play action plays. Like that's huge, right? And that was number one in the NFL. So for the yards part, I do like it. And D-Hop, again, kind of goes back to the Will Fuller discussion that we've seen what he can do with a primetime wide receiver too. AJ Green, is he still that guy? Kyler Murray seems to think so. I would hope so because that's his quarterback. But yeah, I'm pretty bullish on this. I'm with AJ.